The footage of crashes, mishaps, and accidents within this video is presented strictly for educational and informational purposes to illustrate crucial lessons in RV safety, responsible road practices, and personal preparedness.
Coming at you fast like a freight train ride. Another crazy, stupid RV design. Smoking sparks, no fear, no mild. Buckle up, it's RVs Gone Wild.
And hey, we are going to be doing RVs Gone Wild, number 13. Oh, number 13. That's right, evil number 13, or as my wife likes to say, lucky number 13. And without further ado, let's get into it. Lisa R is going to start us off with this military rig. It looks like it's a European military rig, but somewhere here in the States, definitely off-road capable. Mark M sent us this pic. It only says 1966 in my notes. I don't know if this is a 66 Ford or a 66 camper on top, but either way, she's a beaut. Marco Maddock from Wisconsin sent this our way. This was actually taken in New York State, and if you look, it's not necessarily an RV or about RVing. Perhaps there's a glitch in the matrix here because it looks like it's a 59 Ford, but if you look closer, it's actually a 59 Ford towing a 59 Ford trailer that's been built out of the same car. I had a double take on this one. Paul C, who has his own Airstream, is one of the thumbnails in one of my videos. He sent us a picture here. This came from Moab 2 years ago, where the owner is a retired body shop owner from Salt Lake City. His rig is approximately a 1949 Ford. It's got a modern Ford gas V8 driveline. It's very well crafted and stunning inside. Fortunately, we don't have any inside pics. That back trailer is just an empty shell used to haul things like parasails. Lisa R also sent us a picture of this Western RV lifted monster truck and monster RV. I've actually seen photos of this before, but I couldn't find any videos of it actually driving. If anybody has a link to this thing actually driving around or doing some off-road fun, be sure to send it to me at rvingwithjoe@gmail.com, along with any other pictures or cool RV photos or links or videos that you might have. Rick S sent us a picture of his own expedition camper. Wish we had some inside pics. Maybe next time, send them my way, Rick. Steve P called this out. Apparently where he lives, these types of trailers and RVers are running in packs. We've got this sort of lean-to shack on a trailer with propane tanks on the side. That thing looks like it's ready to catch on fire. And it's accompanied by this small house on wheels. We talked earlier about how small houses versus trailers, tiny houses don't have septic systems on board and they need to hook up to an external pipe. So who knows how these folks are managing their waste, we'll just say. Thanks to Walladay for sending this in. This is a bus he spotted in Yuma, Arizona. And the kids today just don't understand, before Google Earth, this is all we had. Looks like this guy's ready to circumnavigate the world. I'm guessing he has a bunch of solar panels on top there with those racks. Alan D sent me a handful of links. I'm just going to show a short clip of these, but you can watch the videos in full by clicking on their links inside my description. So I've linked to each one of these videos. The first one is this U-Haul trailer. I didn't really know that U-Haul used to rent travel trailers. This is no longer for rent. This is owned by the person, but they give us a little tour of their U-Haul trailer.
I built the bunk so that I had room for his litter and his little personal space up there, but that helped a lot with this travel. So this ceiling here, that is the carpet that used to be on the floor.
Check out this Vespa. This is a man with a vision on a mission. And I love these shots at the end. They totally remind me of Breaking Bad. I've shown all kinds of versions of tow dollies, and I'll be showing some more in this one. But this is an interesting way to get around the tow dolly situation, where if you have a strong fifth wheel or gooseneck, and you can go ahead and get these adapters put onto your regular trailer.
Standard 6x2 tubing or the 5x2 tubing. And it just bolts on there. So some of the features we have on this hitch here, the splash guard in here with another area with a shelf here to be used. And then also on this unit we have a upper platform that can be used to put whatever you'd like to put up there.
Again, links for all these videos are in the description below. Also, if you look below, you'll see a subscribe button. So maybe just take a moment. If you've been enjoying my videos, I have way more people watching these videos than actually subscribing. So the one thing I ask from you is just click the subscribe button. It really helps build the channel, helps build the algorithm, helps bring in those sponsors. So please click subscribe right now. And I'm gonna move on to the next video. Thanks, everyone. Adam M sent this in to me. This gentleman actually took 2 different buses and melded them together into one bus. So I guess he took the bus that was worse off and made that sort of the top shell bus and made the better of the 2 buses the bottom chassis bus. It's a really interesting look I hadn't seen before, and the inside looks as cool as the outside. Amy C sent this in. She said he's pretty sure he's a little back heavy. Yeah, I'd say so. Is this guy hauling cement in his back end? That is surprisingly tilted. Maybe it's time to get some new shocks and struts on that one. A Redneck's Life sent this to me, and a few people have pointed this out to me. You've probably seen this particular VW bug. I featured it on a video many episodes back. Multiple people have pointed out to me that VW is really the first people to do this. There's been the Prius and other sort of custom versions that I've shown on this channel, but originally Volkswagen built the Volkswagen to do this. This was actually an intended use. And again, it made it so easy to park because you can pretty much do a 360 with your trailer attached. You just cannot jackknife this thing. Becky P sent this into me, and my first thought was, oh my gosh, are you really towing that huge silo thing behind you? And then I realized she's just parked there. This is actually her SWAT van that's been converted to an RV. The SWAT van comes from North Carolina. Now, we talk about towing too much. Here you've got this Class A motorhome being towed by a pickup truck. And I don't care whether that's a 350, a 250. I can't imagine a setup where the weights match up for this setup.
Sorry for that poor truck.
Reagan R sent this our way. He actually gave away this motorhome on Marketplace after he pulled out the engine. And the folks that picked it up, they came in with a way too underpowered truck and immediately jackknifed it while they were pulling out of his driveway. Then they had to bring in a heavy wrecker just to untangle this whole mess. Folks, do not tow beyond your weight capacity. David G, who just recently stumbled across the channel, sent these in. These are his home-built travel trailer. Definitely one of the smaller styles that I've seen, but it has a really unique look on the inside. Has this nice mix of this organic wood and this modern look. Well done, David. Don W sent this my way. I'm a big fan of these gypsy wagons. I would never really want to own or drive one, but I love the way they look and I love the people who are committed to them. And yeah, these things might be hard to build, but you can get your own sort of gypsy wagon right now on Marketplace. Somebody sent me this ad. I'm sure you can search for it out there. It's available right now. In fact, I'll put the link in the description. I'm not selling it or anything. I'm not vouching for it, but you can look. The inside's gutted out. It's just ready to build it the way you want it built, and you can start for only $5,000. I'm sure she's a beaut. I'd definitely get it inspected first. Then we've got this, the 1970 Ford Camelot Cruiser. Apparently only 3 of these were ever made, and they represent the true feeling of the late 60s and early 70s design. Although only 3 were ever made, I'm going to give this the Ford Tip of the Hat Gold Star Award from RVing with Joe for being the coolest Ford in this particular episode. And thanks, Diane V, for sending this our way. This gorgeous Airstream's been melded with some sort of car, and she was asking, like, how does someone get these things insured? Can you even get it insured? And to be honest, I hear from people with custom rigs all the time how they have a hard time getting it insured, or they have to pay some really, extra amount for the odd vehicle they have. So before you go into customizing your own rig or buying a customized rig, make sure you look at the insurance implications before you buy it. And yep, it's that time. It's time for turducken. Y'all know turducken by now. That's when you take a turkey and inside it you cook a duck. And inside the duck you cook a chicken. And it's a great way to cook. It tastes great, but it makes for a funky way to toast sometimes. Let's take a look at some turduckens. Brian sent this in. These are basically pre-built like this. They're sometimes called hybrid rigs. I remember looking at these once when I was looking for RVs, but without a toy to put in that deck, it really wasn't worth it for us just to have an open space. Nice rig, Brian. This is from Kelly M. This was spotted, I guess, near Sandpoint, Idaho. Shout out to Sandpoint, Idaho. I used to live there when I was a little kid. Apparently this camper or converted trailer has jacks on the side, so it can jack itself up the way you see with a camper rig that goes in the back of a truck. Imagine the truck then can just pull out, leaving the trailer there at the campsite. People get creative out there. I love it. Thanks for sending this, Kelly. Gary D wanted to share his rig with us. This is his personal rig, his own RV Turducken. It's a 2002 Chevy 2500 HD. He's towing a 1998 Prowler bunkhouse and a 14-foot utility trailer. And on top of that, he has a Kawasaki Mule. He's got a generator, gas, water containers. This guy is ready for the apocalypse. Now this is taking a trailer dolly to a whole new level. You get a trailer hooked up to a dolly, hooked up to a truck. And then that truck is being pulled by a sedan by a tow rope. This is sketchy turducken right here. I do not endorse this setup. I do not recommend you drive this fast with this type of setup ever. I'm going to thank Jimmo and Keith C, who each sent me in more pictures of this same trailer. I swear I'm going to do a whole video just about this trailer. And if anybody ever talks to the people who own this trailer, please give them my channel name. I want to talk to them. I'm starting to feel guilty, like I'm stalking them, because I have now 5, 6, 8 pics from different people of those folks, you know, driving around the country. It's almost like they're being surveilled by the East German police. You know, it's really funny though that so many people have taken pictures of this rig. And here's 2 more I got from 2 different people. Almost every week I get a picture of this rig from somebody. It came down from Alaska, it's heading, I think, down to California, and everyone from there in between has been taking photos. Robert S, aka Mouse in the Falls, here on YouTube. He's in Montana, and he found this rig sitting in the Walmart parking lot in Great Falls, Montana. That's certainly a heavyweight. If that's what's on top of the truck, I wonder what cool thing they have in the trailer. And somebody sent me this picture, I guess it was from like a Martha Stewart Instagram or something, but it has lobster cooked inside a chicken. So what do we call this? Lobsterkin? Maybe lob chicken? I was also thinking maybe lobstickin'. Thanks, Stacey A, for sending this in. To me, it looks like the lobster is wearing a chicken vest, and for some reason, that reminds me of this clip.
See my vest made from real gorilla chest.
And this gorgeous piece of turducken would have Mr. Burns going excellent. Stacy sent this to us. She wanted to show what her husband and her son built. They had a toy hauler, but it wasn't big enough to haul their side-by-sides. So basically, they built a custom trailer, fit it. They call it the Taj Mahaler. Her husband David dreamed of this hauler, built it himself with the help of their son. You basically end up with 2 decks on this rig. You've got a place to store the vehicles, you got a place to work on the vehicles, you can have different groups in different areas. Toolbox galore. If any of these toys break, they are taken care of. They got the raised platform in the front, they've got the family outing area in the back with the propane flame table, and I mean, this thing is just set up. I am so impressed. Stacy, you got a great family there, and those are some great pics. Thank you very much. Frank C spotted this. Where else? A Walmart parking lot. He just happened to notice it because it was just so gosh darn gorgeous. He said it was around 35 to 40 feet long, so it seems like it's probably about the maximum you could take a Super C like this. And then on the other end of the spectrum, we have this home-built RV. I'm thinking there's an RV in there. I really don't know what's going on in there. And again, it has this sloped front like we've seen in some other homemade trailers. I guess that's to keep the whole thing from just blowing off when they drive down the freeway. Friends, we're gathered here today to remember the long-lost funeral RV that Airstream once thought about putting out. Apparently, they did actually build this. They did actually issue some. I don't know how many actually got out there. I want to thank Harry T for sending this to us. He sends us stuff almost every week. And in this week, he sent us this about the Airstream, which branched out into hearse making. So this hearse, well, the idea was that it would carry both the body and the closed family all at once from the, chapel to the funeral home, or from the funeral home to the chapel, depending on which direction they were going. Hey, when I go out, I would love it if the last ride I take is in an RV. Harry also heard me talking a little bit more about the dually for Toyotas, and he sent in this, which is apparently a 2007 Toyota Tundra dually. So they did mess around with some dualies, but it was a concept car, so it doesn't exactly count as a Tundra. But could you imagine if Toyota just put out dualies as a standard and put out a 3/4 ton Toyota? Here's a question for you. Do you have any RV tattoos? If you've got a tattoo of an RV or an RV related tattoo, send a picture of it my way. You can always send me a picture of your RV tattoo or any cool picture or video of an RV you might have. Send it my way to rvingwithjoe@gmail.com. I love it when you send me your stuff. I try to use everybody's pictures and links as much as I can, and when I do, I give you a shout out here on this channel. Thank you. So let's see those RV tattoos. I got one. Herbert K saw this set up in Utah. I'm guessing this person is a hardcore van lifer. Got that camping stove built right in. I'm always amazed at putting a camping stove inside your van. If anybody follows Foresty Forest, I always see his as one of the ideal setups. If you're gonna do that.
Beautiful day in the Canadian Rockies, I tell you what. So I've driven as far as I can.
JD saw this lowered classic truck and vintage travel trailer in a Walmart parking lot in Brewton, Alabama. Yeah, it seems like that travel trailer is a bit chopped and brought down as well, huh? I wouldn't take that off-road. I don't know if this is an RV, but it's worth mentioning. This cow RV was spotted outside of Salida, Colorado. Don't have a lot of information on it. That's another one that screams America. And I don't know what to make of this gooseneck hitch that's turned into a tow hitch. Is this an actual product or did somebody just put this together? Very scary. If I saw this on the highway, I would either get way in front of or way behind this person. I would not want to be near them when this thing goes awry. So don't forget to send me your pics and your videos to rvingwithjoe@gmail.com. Make sure to click subscribe below. Click the like on this video. Comment if you liked what I said. Comment if you don't like what I said. Comment and tell me what you don't like about the channel. I don't care. I just want you to comment. Got more camping videos coming. Just had a whole bunch of things break on my RV on my last camping trip. Because if you're RVing, then things are probably breaking. So check out my camping videos that are coming out. And remember, whether you got some huge, beautiful, big rig set up, or whether you just got some funky plywood tapped onto the back of your truck, whatever floats your boat and gets you out there RVing, just get busy living. Thanks, everyone. You see, actually has custom electric jacks that will jack it up and off. Let's not say that.